dark. What's going on here? Oof. Oof. Still looks really dark, doesn't it? Hello. Hi, friends. So, in typical Mercury retrograde, sun spinning the wrong way, planetary fashion, my audio system's not working, so we're going to have to just roll into a Q&A session, because we're just a hangout sesh, so I'm sorry about it. But I told you guys I'd be here Wednesday, so I'm here, no matter what, is going on, so here we are. Let's say hi to some people. Hi, Kelly, Marjorie Altz, Katie, Laura Lee, hello. Hi, Sean and Raven and Brenda Graby. Hello, hello. Laura Gaffey, Susan Thomas, CJ, hiya. Hi, Brandy. Hey, you hope all is well. Everything's great. Hi, Charity Murphy. Good evening. Doing well tonight. So much happened in life. Will I be okay through it all? And we're always okay. The best way is just to reflect on what you've been through already to give you the courage to get through the next one. Hi, Debbie Nash. Hi, Mama Sarah. It's good to see you. Brittany Sands, what up? Good evening, Papers. Where Michael and Meow get married. Meow? Or got my ticket to... Hey, thanks, Vince. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, I saw the email. I haven't had a chance to respond. I saw it, though. But I appreciate that for sure. Hi, Cat Kips. Well, long time, Cat Kips. You've been hiding. Sunflower Christie. Hello. Hi, Tribe Co. Lisa Tufano. Hello, hello. Diggity Dog. Hi, Bree. Hello. Brooke Ashley. Hello from Kansas City, Missouri. Hello back from Virginia. Hi, Lisa Hayes. All right, cool. So let's have a little chat, you guys. So my name is Jacob Sasko. I'm a psychic medium. I've been communicating with spirits for 23 years. I come here on TikTok and normally do free psychic mediumship. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, definitely hit the follow button. However, tonight my damn speaker is not working, as you can tell, and I normally filter the chat, the butterfly angel thing. Sorry, ADD. But thank you for that gift, Bree. I appreciate you. So normally I feed it through my system so that I don't have to monitor the chat, because it's very distracting as a psychic medium. That's why a lot of your psychic mediums are like, oh, hold the chat, and all that. I don't like doing that. So I have electronics engaged, pulling your comments out, whoever I'm reading. I feed them into my system and they play through the speakers, but the speaker is not speakering today. And so here we are. So we're just gonna do a little hangout sesh, answer questions, maybe Q&A. Just one of those days, I guess. But when you're suffering, does spirit know and feel bad? TikTok's being a little jerk lately too. When you're suffering, does the spirit know and feel bad? Okay. Do they know? Yes. Do they feel bad? No. And the reason they don't feel bad is because it's for your ultimate growth and development. And they know that while you may be struggling, you may be suffering, that is something that you need in order to gain the lessons from it. Like through intense suffering, we gain compassion for others and other lessons as well. And they're tough lessons, but we signed up for some tough love here on Earth. So there's even signs of like, all right, your guardian angel didn't protect you from breaking your leg. And I've had guardian angels tell me that, hey, as much as it hurt me not to step in and protect you, because this is my job, I'm supposed to protect you. And as much as it hurt me, I was reading this lady in Florida years and years and years ago, and her guardian angel came through, and I was like, did you have a car accident where you broke your leg? And she was like, yes. And I was like, yeah, so I've got your guardian angel telling me that as much as it hurt him not to protect you from this, you were living too fast, you weren't taking care of yourself, you were so busy doing everything else, and they needed you to come back and collect yourself. And, and there were lessons in that of slowing down and really appreciating the time that you were having and the people that you were having in your life. And she was like, oh my gosh. So that's kind of like reminiscent, and that's kind of where I'm drawing from when I answer that question for you. It's like, yes, they know you're suffering. No, they don't feel bad the way humans would feel bad, because they understand why you're suffering, right? So anyway, hope that answers the question. Are orbs a sign of spirits, are orbs a sign of / or spirits? Orbs. Okay, so here's my take on that. So orbs, in essence, it's spiritual activity for sure, right? Little perfect white sparks of light is what I call them, is how I see angels. If they're different colors, like the black ones, from how I see them, that's not good stuff, right? I've seen blue ones. I think that's more like earthbound energy. But again, the colors that my color coding to this isn't necessarily the same for you or how you will perceive them. It's just the way they've been organized for me, right? And I've seen red ones. I have no idea what the hell those are. But yeah, so when it is spirit, right, it is the physical manifestation of spirit. And maybe you weren't tuned enough clear visually to see them in their full form, or they didn't have enough energy to fully manifest into a full form spirit, right? So it could be a little bit of both. So, but yes, orbs are absolutely spiritual energy in one form or another, for sure. All right, let me get to, so they kind of do feel bad in a way, but at the same point, they understand the reason behind it, and they're like, overall, they don't feel bad. Will Michael and me get married? Marjorie, so for psychic stuff, you definitely want to go check out my wife. She's on live right now, she.wolf.tarot. She's fantastic. She'll be able to tell you that question, no question, or answer, no question. That's funny. Lisa, the problem with doing mediumship is that I'm not going to be able to see the answers. But Lisa, if this is a brown and white dog that's medium, almost like a Cocker Spaniel not quite Cocker Spaniel. I think the hair is shorter than that. But if it almost looks like that emoji, let me know. Just say, yes, that's what they look like. How did you know you had a gift? So the gift aspect of it is being born with more sensitivities and seeing them intrinsically or seeing them naturally. I was born with wider ranges of sight, hearing, feeling, and stuff of that nature. That's the gift aspect, but I do consider this a skill that anyone could learn. So I knew I had it because I saw ghosts, basically. Can you communicate with dogs? Yeah. I don't speak dog, right? But I can get things from them, and then usually get a spirit communicator that's with the dog to kind of give me some of the deeds. Do you have multiple spirits follow you, like guardian angels? How do we inherit them? Just curious. Yeah, we all have a spiritual team. We have spirit guides, guardian angels, potentially ascended masters, like whatever's lining you up to kind of fulfill your purpose. And then you have your friends and family in spirit as well. So we all have a team. How do we inherit them? I feel like some of them start with you from birth, but they do get changed out from time to time. Like what was that? I had the same spirit team, the same 3 spirit guides for the first 20 years of me doing readings. I don't know how long they were with me before that, probably since birth. But they've all swapped out for an ascended master. But they're in the background, but they're still like not the front and center. So I do think that we sign up for life, and they are kind of like appointed to us before we come here. Is that why they don't intercept? I don't know that question. Oh yeah, that's why guardian angels don't intercept? Yeah, because there's a lesson in it for you. Did they ever wake you up out of your sleep with a message? I have weird dreams, guys. I have weird dreams of like doing spiritual work. Actually, I woke up out of my sleep. That was a nightmare. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, I've woken up. I don't know if it's them or if it's just me having like vivid dreams. How can a lost one loved one communicate? There's a lot of things they can do, Sarah. Um, so they can come to you in your dreams. They can have you feel things, and interact with you where you feel your hair move or tingles or chills. They can move items. They can put water places. I've seen that. Turn on electrical items. Turn off your TV. Flicker your lights. Shadows. I mean, there's you smell their perfume. There's so many different ways. There's so many different ways. Does Granny find out what happened to Dad? If Granny's in spirit, because I'm not tapping in, then yeah, for sure. Can you feel who's around me? I wish I knew who. Oh man, all of them. Like all of them. Okay, I've seen white. Yeah, white's the angel ones. White and bright. Yeah, it's the angels. What's your take on SLS app? Do they actually work? I don't know what SLS is. Never seen it before. Brightest blue one, right? Yeah, I think they're lost souls in my understanding, but it could be something completely different for you. The key for mine isn't not necessarily the key for yours, but that's what I've kind of attributed those to. Yes, seeing a lover live. Let's go. Let's go. Do we need to ask a specific question? Just Q&A. And please don't spam the questions over and over again because I'm slow. How do you know the difference in a... Oh, but you don't know if it came through. Never mind, do your thing. How do you know the difference in a visitation in a dream or not from spirit? Okay, so basically the question here is how do you know the difference between a dream of a spirit or someone who's in spirit versus a visitation dream where the spirit's actually there? The high 90% chance, if you are aware of the fact that they are deceased while you're having the dream, like, hey, you shouldn't be here, what are you doing here, you've passed away, so that sort of recognition and understanding, that is more likely that they are a spirit communicator versus just having a dream that's replaying some other thing. Does spirit show up in form on cameras that you have in your home? Orbs, right? But it's interesting because I have a 6K camera. I can't wait to get back out into the paranormal stuff. I have a 6K camera that I can degrade to 2K video and increase the frame rate. And because spirit moves very quickly, I feel with a faster frame rate, it can go up to like 100 frames per second or something. And with that frame rate, I think we'll be much more successful in actually capturing like legit images. But anyway, it's just a guess. Happy heavenly birthday, 100th birthday, Nana. Happy heavenly birthday, Nana. Okay. No? Okay. No worries, Lisa. How do lost loved ones communicate? Yeah, you've asked that a bunch of times. Came from your wife's life. She's one of the only people I've heard of talk positive about Leos. Rawr. Guys, I don't have any issues with Leos. Have shadow people in my home. Yeah, people think so. It's interesting because it's just because they're shadows doesn't mean they're bad. I've seen my grandmother as a shadow. She wasn't bad. She was in heaven. So just because they're shadow doesn't mean it's bad. So I wouldn't term them shadow people because that has kind of a negative connotation to it. But there's definitely spiritual activity. It could very well be something going on, but just throwing it out there. Yakobo, what's going on, homie? Baha Bestie. Is it possible to hear a deceased loved one talk, or am I going insane? No, absolutely possible. It's called clairaudience. My grandmother, I was sleeping. I was in Florida, and I was sleeping, and I had an interview for Universal Studios to do psychic mediumship there in 2011. Ooh, I'm really dating myself. But anyway, I heard Jacob get up, right? And it sounded like my mom's voice, and it woke me up out of my sleep, and I was about to miss my interview. And as I'm driving to Universal from Space Coast, as I'm driving to Universal, I call my mom and say, hey mom, does your mom sound like you? And she was like, yeah, we sound identical. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I was 5 when my grandmother passed. So absolutely. Thanks for all the tiny dinings, Bree. Does it get overwhelming in a crowd of people, or do you turn it off? Mine's off, like, consistently. Like, I have to actively turn it on. I don't have empathy. I'm empathetic towards people, but I don't have that psychic skill empathy. Or at least I shut it down as much as possible. I don't like feeling the emotions of people. So I don't get overwhelmed like that now. I get overwhelmed in haunted locations with it turned on, but that's another story. Can spirits choose to lower vibration to communicate with us? Yes, absolutely. I'm a medium, so I climb, but they still come down and we meet in the middle somewhere, for sure, absolutely. Do they ever wake you out of sleep? Message? I read that. Answer that. How you know the difference? Okay. Is there any way for us to figure out who our guides are? Is that something you can figure out? Yeah. The best way for me was meditation. I actually created a digital content, psychic mediumship development guide that covers this pretty extensively on connecting with your spirit guides. It's only 11:11. Links in my bio for that if you're interested in that. It's digital, so make sure you put your email in correctly, and then when you send it, an email comes in with the download link. You get it. 46 exercises, 46 pages, only 11:11, and it's 23 years of experience talking to them, a lifetime of seeing them, 23 years of experience coupled with, so that data set coupled with artificial intelligence. So I asked ChatGPT, hey, ask me 20 questions about meditation. And I answered those questions. Okay, let's put this back together and put it into like a format that's easy to understand, and like worked with it like that. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible. Like, anyway. Your dad is absolutely with you, Jackie. I don't have to be a medium to tell you that. I've done this I don't have to read you to tell you that. I've done this for, again, 23 years. I've been seeing them my whole life. Like, our people are with us, guys. What I used to see clear images sent from loved ones, and now I don't. That's more of a personal. I'd have to read you to see why. I could throw out a bunch of guesses, but I'd have to actually read you to figure that out. I saw my little fox terrier today. He's been gone 4 years. Oh. I don't know why you dream that over and over. Probably, Froggy, why would you dream your parents passing over and over? So the thing about recurring nightmares is that supposedly, and I don't know much about the dream state, full disclosure, most of my stuff is done from awake with prayed and meditated into an altered state of consciousness that way. So I don't really mess too much with the dream state, the subconscious. It's not my wheelhouse per se, but what I do know about recurring dreams and recurring nightmares in particular is that the most important part of those nightmares is the small thing that's changed. So what I would say is potentially get a dream journal. I created one, but any of them will do. Get a dream journal and document your dreams, or you use a notepad and just write your dreams right when you wake up. Don't move. Try to remember your dreams as vividly as you can, and then before you start moving, because once you start moving and looking at things, the memory starts to go away. But just think, what was I dreaming about? What was I dreaming about? And then get as many details as possible. And by documenting them, you'll be able to see the nuances and the differences, basically. So, what readings do you offer, and are you on other platforms? So I do have a YT channel. It's a monetized channel. I'm actually about to get my first paycheck from them. It's amazing. It only took 4 or 5 years. Anyway, because you have to get to $100 before they pay out. So, woo. Anyway, but I just upload the readings I do on TikTok on there, and I'll be leveraging it more here in the future. Other platforms, I'm starting to pivot into in-person. I've got a couple of things lined up already, so yeah, we're gonna. But I'd have a private links, private bookings. I do it via Zoom and stuff like that. So yeah, lots coming, and my availability's about to get significantly better for this work. So that's great. Wish my mom would have come to my dreams. I've been asking. got full faith. Dragonflight, a dream journal would help. A dream journal would help. Because it'll help you recall them more. Yeah, turn my TV on and off. Yeah, that's a thing. Oh, I don't know, sissy. Can spirit pinch a person? Spiritual energy, yes. I don't know if I would assign that to a spirit though. But if it was like a joke and something that they would have done in life, like pinch your cheeks or something, I could see that sensation being passed across. But a spirit themselves isn't going to want to harm anybody. So if it's a pinch that hurts, I would think it's something else. Best advice for a developing medium. What you pray or what your intentions are beforehand are extremely important, and to make sure you're doing it to serve others. Make sure the intentions are pure, because if the intentions are pure, the connection is going to be pure. Love you, blue background. Thank you. Hi, Queen since 72. Hi, said they good. This might sound silly. Do they sit with us, float around us all day? Float around us all day. That kind of makes you think of Casper, right? Do they sit with us? So they're constantly around us as much or as little as they want to be, right? But it's kind of like, okay, so imagine this is the best, and this isn't mine, but it's the best understanding of it. All right, so we're in the 3D, right? Let's imagine there's a world called the map world, and it is a two-dimensional world. It is a map. You can see there are dots that are people, right? You can see their roads. You can see their house. You can see it all 3D, right? So you can see what's inside their closet. You know, all they see is left, right, north, and south, right? They can't look up. They can't look down. It's just forward, backwards, left, or right, right? So that's their limited view. Now, you're a 3D person looking at this map, and so you're looking down, you can see what's inside their closet, you know which way they're moving, you know what's going on, you can hear them because you're all around the situation. Are you right next to them? No, but you're there and you're observing the situation, you know what's going on, right? This is the same concept. We're the 3D, they're the 4D. So that sort of thing is occurring here. Can you pin or share your wife's TikTok? Ooh, can one of the mods share her TikTok? I think she's live right now. So okay, tingles the back of your head can be a visitor. Absolutely. Oh, here she is. Hey, cutie. Yep, that's the wife, guys. Give her a follow. She'll read your love life to filth, guys. Why did you? All right. Ask the question much times, and all right, my grand's been gone 52 years. Will I see her again? Yeah, absolutely. If someone had an attempt and saw the other side but came back, do you feel them here? Wait, if someone had an attempt and saw the other side but came back, do you feel them here? I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. If someone had an attempt, I get with that part, I get all of it, but do you feel them here? And saw the other side but came back, do you feel them here? I don't understand the question. If they're still here on Earth, right, then they wouldn't. So we all have part of our souls that are in spirit at all times, our higher selves, right? And the past, present, and future happens simultaneously. So, like our past lives, while we're here on Earth, there's a linear timeline. Our past lives are there, our future lives are here. Our soul knows these past lives, but doesn't know these future lives from this snapshot. But in spirit, they know all of it, and all of it exists at the same time. So I don't think that answered your question, honestly, but I don't really understand your question either. So that maybe some insight into that, my beliefs around that structure. I don't know. Does your paranormal work spirits attach to you after? My wife would love to field that question for you. I'm losing it. It just, All right, guys, I'm just gonna have to go to the bottom because it just glitched. I went too slow. I read too slow. I'm gonna start with this one. Had an idea on how you could make a hard copy of your workbook and keep it the same QR codes for links. Yeah, I've been thinking about creating a hard copy. Actually, I was talking about that today, which is interesting. What was the question, guys? This is the crystal page. Um, the question, that's our crystal page, guys. My wife picked some beautiful crystals. I mean, look at this thing. This one's simple. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Look at this clear quartz beauty. This is the type of stuff. This is the type of quality she gets in. I kept this one. I was like, you're gonna sit right here at my table and amplify everything. Okay, pretty girl? Okay. But yeah, definitely follow the crystal page. It's incredible. And the question was, do spirits attach to me after paranormal investigations? Should I find my biological father? Is this gift hereditary? So, apple cakes. That's a really interesting question. So, the starting point, right? I believe is hereditary. I believe everybody has the potential. Spirit communication is intrinsic to the soul. All souls know how to communicate with souls. However, being born with a little bit more range of vision, let's say, that's going to have a genetic link. And that's where you're going to see people say it runs in family lines, is because they naturally saw things because they had that stretched sense or senses. Some of them have just wider ranges, right? And so that's the natural part. That's the hereditary part. However, we all have the ability. It's just, do you put the work in to develop that skill, the time and the effort and the energy? And so you should find your biological father if it fulfills some need for you, but to find out if the gift came from him or something, I wouldn't waste my time, personally. I wouldn't waste my time with it. Because we all have it. So, but if you feel the need to fulfill something in you, then you got to do what's best for you. Only you don't know what's best for you. Can the spirit be in two places at once? Past, present, and future happen simultaneously in the spirit, so they can be all over the place. Yeah. How do you explain this to a young kid who lost a parent, or any advice? Yeah, so, how young are we talking? If it's very young, what's the age? If someone can see Mama Sarah pin the age, please do that. I would love to know if I had a past life or not. Yeah, probably yes. I think everyone has at this point. My dad visited me in my dream yesterday morning. What does that mean? He said something about owing. Yeah, I'd have to read you directly to figure out. Yeah. You had me at crystals. 9, 11, 18. 9, 11, and 18. For a parent that's passed, okay, so they're going to, so it makes a difference because of where they're at mentally, right? I mean, if I'm talking to a 4-year-old, it's not going to be the same to a 9-year-old, right? Because the 9-year-old's past the concrete operation stage and is starting to understand concepts that are not necessarily right in front of our faces, like freedom or love or compassion. They're able to understand these things a little bit better at 9, definitely at 11, and absolutely at 18. So what I would say to the 9-year-old is that that's just such a heavy question. I mean, I'm good in the moment, right? But trying to articulate it. I mean, to the 18, there's so many factors. Like what's their religious beliefs or structures? What I would say is that so mommy or daddy, their body is just the car. and they are the driver. Like your body is just a car, and you are the driver inside of the car. And when the car breaks down, or the car is no longer able to be driven, the driver still comes out. And that driver, you can't see them, but they'll always be with you and love you. It's an idea. I don't know. If you see someone in the corner of your eye and look and no one is there, is it spirit? Probably, Sarah. I have a tendency to discount the ones that are very far in my peripheries, and just be like, yeah, whatever. If you want me to acknowledge you, come to my straight, come straight on, or like in this range. Otherwise, I'm just gonna act like you weren't there. So, but probably. Oh, that's incredible, Susan. Yeah, they're always going to be around us. Do you reincarnate to the same family? You reincarnate to the same family potentially, if there's more lessons that you can pick up from that family. Sure, not always, but you can. You always use that analogy. It's a good one. It's a good one. I caught up. Ooh. Thanks. How much are your readings? Recently lost my mom at 101. Yeah. So the links are in my bio for it. They're a little pricey, full disclosure, but they're guaranteed. If I can't connect, I refund you. So there's that. Gift for catching up. It just, thanks. Yeah. They're guaranteed. So, I mean, and again, I have 23 years of experience, and yeah, it's like, yeah, yeah. And you get a recording of it to keep forever. So yeah. Just make sure your Facebook page is on public so I can research you. No, I'm just kidding. I've had 2 readings with Jacob, and both were amazing and life-changing. Oh, thanks, Lisa. Lisa's Facebook is public. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's such a bad joke. It's such a bad joke. No, I'll be straight up with you. Like, if I can't connect, I can't connect, you know? Yours is not? Oh, okay. Thank you for this feedback. Please leave a review on Facebook and Discord. I think she did leave a review. Ooh. Ooh. Absolutely. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. I have been told that I can communicate better with mom that has passed than someone like you. Okay. I've been told that I can communicate better with my mom that has passed than someone like you. Okay. Yeah. Potentially, right? I mean, who knows? Like, there's so many different variables and things that can happen, right? Potentially. If potentially not. You know, who told you that? Was it someone who was trying to reach you that was like, oh, well, I can't do it, so I'm just going to say your mom just wants to talk to you, not me, to try to make them not look so bad, right? So, I mean, who knows? Who knows? But there's a lot of variables there. But some mediums are better able to connect with certain spirits. Certain spirits want to talk to certain mediums over others because certain mediums will have experiences that those spirits relate to more and can utilize their memory banks to actually get their message across. So, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Joy, there's too many variables, but maybe, you know, potentially. I think it also depends on how much work you're willing to put in to actually make those connections too, right? Because if you're not willing to put in the work, and then you have someone like me who's like obsessed with working really hard at getting good at spirit communication, I don't know if I would necessarily believe that. But yeah, maybe. Spirits do their own thing. Does that mean I have some ability? Just we all do, Joy. We all do. If someone takes their own life, will they still be greeted with their loved ones? Yeah. So when someone passes in that sort of fashion, right? There may be a fragment that splits off. Again, the soul's not all in one place, right? And even our soul can split to pieces and do different things to pick up different parts of the experience. But I do believe that a fragment splits off in those experiences to experience that trauma, understand it from a human perspective, understand what the damage they've done to everyone else, and really see that for what it is and absorb that and like, oh wow, look what I've done to take all those lessons back to spirit. But the vast majority is going to go straight into that, oh, gates are opening, here's some angels singing, or whatnot, or whatever their belief, their construct is. They would experience something very similar to that, but absolutely they'll see their friends and family in spirit. No question. Ooh, thank you. I'm go play my PS5. Good night. Takes practice. Do the ghost hunting apps actually pick up our loved ones? I don't really like the apps. Am I late? What was that?
I was just peeking in.
Peeking?
Yeah, sorry.
Wait.
I forgot to show you.
That's cute. I didn't mean that in a bad way, but thank you. Yeah, no, I didn't take it in a bad way. It's Joy. It's possible, right? Because spirits are their own people. They have free will. So, a high measure of free will. So, yeah, it's possible. Joy, it's possible. I didn't take it in a bad way though. I was just analyzing it because I'm very logical, right? Which is interesting to have this ability. Like if I didn't see them as a child and like throughout my life, I wouldn't believe this even exists, right? Unless I had stumbled upon it with some astrophysics or something. But yeah, I didn't take it in a bad way. I was just really logically just pulling it apart and just trying to look at all the pieces, But keep finding pennies everywhere. Someone told me some spirits from heaven. Could be. J&B, they do that. I've heard that before. When did you know you had this gift and what did you do to sharpen it? So I've seen spirits since childhood. I said crazy stuff to my mom as a toddler. I wrote a memoir, Born to Connect, a ghostly memoir documenting all the paranormal things I could remember from before I was born until, what my mom told me, like things happened when she was pregnant with me. Things got... And it's a very short portion for that part, right? It's like 2 sentences maybe for like her experience with me in utero until the end of 2019 is what's chronicled in that book. I may write one. I may write another one later. I don't know. But what I do to sharpen it, the best tool for me is meditation. I actually created a psychic mediumship development guide, digital workbook, that I created with 20 plus years of experience for 16-year-old me to make my life. Like if I had had this, it would have been way easier. It's kind of like what I designed it for. So it's digital content. Links in my bio on that. It's only $11.11 for it. And I purposely made it very, very low cost. It's definitely worth way more than that. Way more than that. But I wanted it to be accessible. So, anyway. Yes, you're welcome. Dang, I caught you and your wife in one day. This never, ever, ever happens. Lucky duck. Just kidding. What have you discovered paranormal investing that you didn't know? What have you discovered paranormal investing that you didn't know? I don't understand the question. Jay Lawton. Hi, Bumble. Doesn't mean anything if someone is terrified to pass. Most people are terrified to pass. No, people are just scared what they don't understand. So I don't think it means anything special. What's the best crystal to have if you can only have one? Clear quartz. It's the master crystal. Having me in that book will make it a bestseller. Mm-hmm. She's right. Am I at the bottom again? I did it. What happened? happen. Why? Because it's spiritual. It's the master crystal. It can amplify the crystals around it, or like has so many attributes that are in and of itself. It's just like clear quartz. It's just clear quartz. I don't know. That's what the conventional wisdom would say, and it's very high vibrating. It's protective. It opens you up. It's such a good crystal, guys. It's such a good one. Like, this is a clear quartz cluster. This one is like astounding. I mean, you don't have to get one this big, but like, woo wee. I mean, I'm not just saying, oh, clear quartz, and I don't have any myself. Like, I've got 2 of them next to me. Here's another one. You know what I mean? So, they're heavy. Yeah. I mean, you know, walk what you talk, right? Or you can just get this little ghosty. Look at this one. Hello. I don't know if this is a crystal or glass, but it's cute. So, always have deja vu. Is that a spiritual thing? Joy, I have a very interesting take on deja vu. So, I believe deja vu is a sign showing you that you are on your right path. Why else would you have dreamt it if you weren't supposed to be there? Is what I've gathered from it. That's my take. Could be wrong. That's just my opinion. Oh no. Oh no. Can I get in? I gotta clock in. I gotta clock in. Password. What's my password, you guys? What have you discovered paranormal investigating that you didn't know before you started? Oh man, lots. Okay, I work cybersecurity. What have you discovered paranormal investigating that you didn't know before you started? I mean, oh my goodness. Okay, so things that have surprised me. Going to Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum and going in there, and because I go and I do resting in peace. I go and I pray for the souls and help them cross and help them get out the fragments that are there, move back any dark energy, and give them the opportunity to go if they'd like to, right? I expected the souls there to be all about it and just come up and swarm me, but they were just wandering around each other aimlessly, like you would expect in a functional asylum. So I think one of the most startling revelations is that these earthbound spirits, when trying to engage with them and interact with them, they keep their human mentalities and their emotions and their beliefs and their constructs. I think that was very interesting. Another thing that was really interesting was I went to a plantation in Virginia, and did it not work? Study, yeah? I gotta log in. Okay, so I went to a plantation in Virginia, right? And there was the plantation owner and his brother lived in the house, and the plantation owner's family and whatnot. And the plantation owner's brother, I picked up on the fact that he was part of the LGBTQ community. And I'm an ally. I have no issue with that. But so I was like, okay. I was like, hey, well, nice to meet you. And it turns out, we did research later. That guy was never married, so it was, very well could have been it, right? However, the overseer, which was in the small building next door, he was also. They were like lovers, right? And what was super interesting about it is because I was interacting with the plantation owner's brother, and then I helped that whole situation get out because, when the cats are away, the mice will play. And if I want to interact with the slave population there, I don't want them to be censored at all. I want them to tell me what's really going on. So I start whittling it down. Plantation owner family first, overseer next, and then interact with the African Americans there, just to get more of the clear story of what really happened here, right? And so as I get rid of or help the plantation owners get out, And then I'm interacting with the overseer, and he's, in the same sort of energy. And I'm like, okay, because they were fear of judgment. Homosexuality is a sin. Oh my gosh, like, I'm not going to go. Like, fear of judgment stayed there. Both him and the slave owner's brother, or the plantation owner's brother. So they both were existing in this space as, like, human-bound energies, right? Because they thought, hell, I'd go to hell. So they created a hellish experience for themselves after the passing. And so I asked the overseer, I was like, so have you seen your lover here? And he says, no. And it was just really interesting to me because they were both existing as human-bound spirits at this location, but they were not on the same vibration. They couldn't see each other. I thought that was very fascinating, right? So, because it wouldn't be hell if you had your lover there, right? So, it was just very interesting. That was something that kind of blew my mind a little bit. Besides that, the capabilities of the electronics, what they're actually capable of capturing, which ones are viable, which ones are garbage. Surprised to find that spirit boxes are highly effective. Not surprised to find that the pucks with all the preloaded words are garbage. That sort of thing. Yes, that is very interesting. I think spirit can create their own purgatory. Absolutely, that's exactly what's occurring here. 100%. Your beliefs are very, very important to your afterlife. There in a night, my mom felt something pushing her down. She couldn't move. She couldn't sleep. She says she saw something darker than the dark room, but she said it's gone now. Was it evil or just a sleep paralysis? So the thing about sleep paralysis is this: sleep paralysis could be a medical condition. I don't know, but I do know for a fact that sometimes it has spiritual elements to it. I was living in Florida, and our roommates had brought home this girl who was trying to come off of really hard substances, and a lot of that sort of really nasty energy hangs around that sort of activity. And so he brought her into the home, and that night,
Sorry, need paper.
That night, we she had an episode of sleep paralysis, and she said, I tried calling out to you and you couldn't hear me. I was like, don't call out to me, call out to God, and pray for an archangel. Yeah, it's great. I said, don't call out to me, call out to God, right? And so she said, okay, and then I said, okay, well, let's pray. And then we went back to sleep. She had another episode of sleep paralysis the same night, and that time she called out to God to help her, right? And then it left. In her dream, she called out to God, and it left. And then I was like, okay, you know what? Let's go brush our teeth. Cleanliness is godliness. So we brush our teeth, and as we're brushing our teeth, the lights in the bathroom, the vanity lights flicker. And I was like, if that was something really bad, make it flicker again, right? And so I said, in the count of 5 seconds, I said 5, 4, 3, 2. And the second I said 1 inside my head, the lights flickered again. Now this was my grandmother's house, right? May she rest in peace. She passed when I was 5, but I'm here 25 years old. 25 years of knowing this house, lights never flicker. There's no electrical issues in this house, right? So, and then for it to be on the exact timeline. So yeah, the rest of that story is in my book, Born to Connect. But, yeah, it absolutely can be spiritual. Just pray to God. Archangels are great. Archangel Michael's fantastic. Fantastic. Highly recommend. Protection's important, guys. Protection is important. All right, guys. Thanks for the heart me, Jack. Okay, guys, I have to log out. I gotta do this work. Did you make an audiobook yet? Let me see how that process is going. Come here, ACX. I don't even know what ACX stands for. I know it's Audible, though. Can you guys, approve my shit so we can just, keep going? Let's find out. Let's find out if they approve my shite. I always call for Archangel Michael. Yeah, and the cool thing about archangels is that they're omnipresent, so they can be in infinite locations at once and not minimize their strength. So don't feel like you're taking away from someone else. You're not. Have you ever been afraid of spirit? Yeah, when I was a kid, for sure. Yeah, I was definitely terrified as a kid. But I've overcome that because I don't like being scared of things. The next thing I'm overcoming is public speaking. My password's incorrect for ACX. I gotta figure out what the hell's going on with it. It's Audible something. I don't know. But anyway. Oh, it's Amazon sign in? Maybe it's this one then. Oh, it just sent me a password. I think I did it right, actually. Okay, cool. Update password. Yep. Let's see. What's going on? Completed. 1. In review since February 6th. I gotta call them. But I work at night and I'm asleep during the day, so like when am I supposed to call them? In normal hours. I'll put it back on my list of things to do. Okay. Haven't been on in a while. Well, it's good to see you, Denise. Good night, and thank you so much for your instant gift. Thanks to you for being here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, I gotta do this work stuff. But God bless you all, and I will catch you on the flip-flop. Oh, thank you so much. My wife just texted me. She's schmexually harassing me. Buenas noches, Jacob. Buenas noches, user. 9904 287 354477. Thanks, Don. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, have a great night. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys soon. I'm not sure how soon. Probably Friday. Thanks, Don. I give a shit about all of you. Like, I'm an Aquarius, so I'm like a humanitarian and absent-minded professor, but I give a shit about you. I want you to be well. I want people who have wronged me to be well. I want them to do well. I care about you all. Like, genuinely, deeply give a shit. You know, when like people are like, oh, if someone sends you negative energy, return to sender. I'm like, I don't want to return to sender. It doesn't feel right. Even if you're throwing that hate towards me, I want to transmute it into love and send it back to you. I don't want to send you shade back. You know, it's like that sort of vibe. So I actually give a shit. So thank you for... Thanks for acknowledging that. It's very kind of you, and I'm glad that it presents itself so well. You know, but anyway, catch you guys on probably Friday, and hopefully I'll have all this shit working again, and we can do some mediumship on live stream again. Okay, toodles. Thank you.